he's the youngest, as you say, the prime minister of the Fifth Republic, but also the youngest of the youngest president of the Fifth Republic. I think it's quite a huge symbol that we have the two main personality of the politic in France who are really young and making records about that. It can be strange for other people, but in France, I think this is absolutely not a problem. If it was a problem, we will not have a vote for Macron 2 times. If it...
Buonasera a tutti, benvenuti a una nuova puntata di Cross the Line. Oggi una puntata internazionale e avremo con noi la fortuna di avere Gregory qui con noi, che viene dalla Francia. Oggi parleremo un po' di quello che sta succedendo in Francia, del primo ministro, del Parlamento europeo, del Parlamento francese, di come i giovani e i ragazzi di oggi affrontano le sfide in un altro paese rispetto all'Italia. Quindi se ci state seguendo su YouTube continuate a seguirci, lasciate un mi piace. Se invece state seguendo su Spotify continuate a farlo, siete sempre tantissimi e vi ringrazio. Quindi direi iniziamo e sigla. So, no, we are ready. So, hi Greg, hi Luca, how are you?
Ciao a tutti ragazzi. So I'm Gregory, I'm really happy to be here. Thank you so much Eduardo and Luca to welcoming me. So I guess I need to present myself first.
Yes,
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm Gregory, I'm 23 years old. I'm French and Swiss, and so I met Eduardo and Luca in Zaragoza and in Erasmus last year. Now, so I'm doing my studies in France, in Paris. I did a bachelor in economics. Then I moved to a management master, as a strategic management master degree. And now I'm between. I'm at the end of my master degree, and so I'm doing a gap year to do internships. I did a first internship in the French Parliament as a parliamentary assistant. So I worked for a member of parliament, and now I'm going to Barcelona next month to do my second internship. So this is about my little presentation.
Okay, thanks, Greg. Greg, I have a question for you. What does it feel like to be a Generation Z boy living in France? What are your expectations from life that could be different from Italy?
It's a tough question. Honestly, I don't know exactly which difference it can be between the same guy, like for example, you two guys in Italy and me in France, because we are in the same generation. But maybe I would say that the impact of the importance of social medias, of all the communication we have, all the also the technological instruments we can have, like for example, we are doing this podcast, so we have many possibilities that the ancient generations didn't have. So it's really, there is many possibilities. It's really open for us now for also further plans in the future.
I think that's already where, like, for example, the Italians and the French may differ, because like here in Italy, there's a lot of pessimism about the future. So that's right now you said that you don't know the differences. Here is already the first difference. And so let's talk.
You are pessimist in general. Italians young.
In general, yeah. Personally, I'm not. In general, there's a lot of pessimism. But I think that it's due to a lot of things, like also politics, social things, opportunities, most of all. And I wanted to ask you, what is the French people, the young French people view on politics?
About that, maybe we are less optimistic in France. There is a huge division about politics and about interest of politics, because in general it's more older people with more engaged into politics, and they're more sensible about that, because the fact is that young people now just don't believe in politics, in every prime minister, every president that we had. They were always disappointed about the situation. And because for young people now, the issues are more about environment, about social issues like the unemployment. People in the street. We have many people living in the street, and for young people, I think these are the main topics. And maybe politicals, the politics in general are not too much engaged into this kind of things.
Okay, yeah. Here, I think that we have some similarities, actually, because Edo, correct me if you think otherwise, but I think that in Italy, we are also not that much into politics as our generation, so Generation Z. It's we are really detached from it, I think.
For in my opinion, what I think about Italian boys, Italian young people, about the politics and also the relationship between people and how they live the politics. I think the problem is how this the government and the states can be useful for bring a new generation to live the politics in a new sense, a new way. I don't know if in France there is a work for this. People get in touch. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like people being engaged in politics, or
yes. That's
your point. Like when you are a militant, for example.
Yes, of course, yes.
But the same, there is this really huge division. Like a lot of young people just they don't give a shit about politics, and this is now the situation. But some of them, because it will be our future, etc., they are really going into politics, and they are militant. I was a little bit militant during the campaign, the presidential campaign, so I could have seen really what was going on with just the little part of young people engaged into politics. But when I'm speaking with the majority of students I know, the majority of my friends also, most of them just don't believe at all about politics now. And for them it's too late, because we didn't act before about the environment. It's and like in France, we have a lot of our political system is really a lot considering the also other part in the world. For example, the conflicts in Ukraine. Like we are really active into that, because we are pro-European country, and some people in France are like, but why are you considering more Ukrainian people than us in France? So there is this kind of division.
So French first.
And that's why the extreme right-handed is going up, and because they want to be just to focus on French people. It's an equilibrium. It's really hard to have.
I think it's the same that is happening in Italy from Meloni and Salvini. So there is a new movement. This movement that now is from 2 years ago. The people are angry. The people want a high salary, want better assurance, and I think this angry is this movement populist, that speak to the people with this anger. I think this is the problem that most of the people in Europe would.
Because we have more crises also.
Yes, of course.
Crisis, immigration crisis. We have economic crisis, a huge one with a lot of unemployment. and many conflicts in the world, the war close to Europe. So people are not feeling really comfortable with all of that. So for them, it's better to just focus on just one country.
Yeah,
of course.
Like
So you would say, like, for now in France, the majority is right-leaning, right?
in the right part,
Yeah,
the opinion
is leaning
it's hard
towards
to
the
know.
right.
I think, for my opinion, like Macron is a little bit going more about the right part than the left part. So he's making the move with the majority of French people, and we have a strong right hand, and the left hand is still there, but an extreme part on the extreme left part. It's really a strong part, but not. It's not the majority. Absolutely not now.
Okay.
So it's moving more and more to the right part.
Greg, I have a question for you. I would like to show you something. I don't know if you vote a new prime minister that is very young, is only 34 old. And when I see that news, I know I see that many people around me have caused quite a serious, in sense that for Italy, you see a prime minister like this so young, it will be strange, you know. And what do you think? What think your people?
I think at the opposite, in France, it's absolutely not a problem, and really, it's better like to have a young guy, really hard worker. It's the impression is really good. Like it's not Joe Biden, really old, it's so French people really like that, and we have to mention that he's the youngest, as you say, the prime minister of the Fifth Republic, but also the youngest of the youngest president of the Fifth Republic. I think it's quite a huge symbol that we have the two main personality of the politic in France who are really young and making records about that. It can be strange for other people, but in France, I think this is absolutely not a problem. If it was a problem, we will not have a vote for Macron 2 times. If it was,
I wanted to say one thing that I think it's really important to understand why the opinion is so different between Italy and France on this topic. And I think it's due to the demographics. So like the demographics of France are really different from the demographics of Italy, which is a really old country. And so I wanted to ask you, do you think that also the old French people think the same as you or about this type of prime minister? Also the old?
Yes, also the old, and maybe more the old people, because for the example of Macron, the majority of people who are voting for Macron are the oldest people of France. It's a fact. Like when you are more than 60 years old, you are in majority Macron voter. It's strange, but because also because of the different law, they did the law of retirement in French, so it was better for the old people, but not for the young ones. And also, but immigration, we did a law. Maybe the oldest people are more with this kind of law. And young people, I think young people is really more about environment, social. So Macron is not now. Macron of 2017, yes, but Macron of now, not. So Gabriel Attal, the prime minister, the same. Like he's a little Macron. It's like that. He's young. He's brilliant. He did amazing studies. And he has exactly the same opinion. And if I need to speak about him, like first he was how do we say, the spokesperson of the government during the pandemic, the COVID-19. So he was really, and I think at this time he was 34 years old, and he was like we saw him every day on the TV. He was really important, and then he get into a ministry of public accounts, and then he moved 3 months ago to the education ministry until being the prime minister since 2 months.
Okay.
So it was just to know what kind of person he was.
Okay, I don't know if Luca, do you have a question? So, or I can ask you something, Greg.
No, go ahead. I already asked the question.
Can you tell us more policies that the new prime minister and Macron are implementing regarding young people? So, for understanding the difference between the attention between Italy and France.
Okay, so which kind of laws?
Yes.
Okay, so it started with the big law of the year about the immigration law.
Okay.
So this immigration law made the transition with the ancient prime minister and Gabriel Attal, the actual one, because it was the first loss of Macron in the parliament. But then they vote again because it's a little bit complicated, the system, but you can make a reclamation and then try to change a little bit the text of the law. So they succeed to put the right hand of the parliament with them and to vote at the end the law with the new prime minister Gabriel Attal. So this was the big law, but now there is, like, every year we have a big law about the budget of France, and about that I think it will be important also the debt we have. It's a huge subject. Also other, I think, about Europe, of course, with the campaigns of for the Parliament, European Parliament, who is coming.
Okay.
So he will have a lot of action to do, and one of the main parts is the education, because he was at the Ministry of Education just before the Prime Minister. He said that, okay, even if I'm the Prime Minister now, this is one of the huge action I will have to do. It's to protect kids of bullying. There is a lot of problems. We have social problems in France about that. He wants to protect a lot of the young people. He wants to make inside of what I wanted to say. So about the education, and to put also the system a little bit more competitive, because in France, this is one of the bad things, is that when you are in a secondary school or in high school, it's really simple to graduate it. And for him, it's not. It has to be not as simple as that, and to be more strong about education. So it's one of the main topic also he's managing.
Wow, because the situation is quite similar to Italy, actually, because it's really easy to graduate. Actually, it's almost compulsory, I would say, that you can't, you actually can't have the children stay in the same class like in middle school, or there are some rare exceptions, but it's really, really rare. And so I think that on this type of thing, we should actually try to emulate a little bit, because it's really important, especially in the first years of school, to educate the children. Yeah,
and to be sure that they are going to the good future for them. Because when you are putting a system too easy, people are just continuing. Okay, I need to do this step. Let's go. I graduated. Well done. But then I don't know exactly what I want to do, because also it was too much simple.
Okay.
So I just follow the others, and I think you have also this problem in Italy about farmer crisis.
Okay.
It's a different subject, but I think if people really know what they want to do during education, but if they want to become a farmer, for example, if they need to be really fixed quite young. And so I'm making a transition with the farmer crisis. With that, I don't know how it was in Italy, the farmer crisis.
But I have some question related. You said you told before that high school and the whole system of school and the university in France seems too easy. Can you tell us more? What is the problem that you find it in your experience?
Okay. Yes. Well, I would say that first it's too simple until the university, because university then it can be really hard and it's different. But still, you are going until the 18 years of your life, and it's not so hard. So it's, for me, the system. It's really general, even if they are trying to specialize a little bit. And I don't know, but the example of mathematics, it's we are not so good in mathematics in France. It's terrible. And we believe that it's good because I had great grades, but no, at the end, when you arrive at the university, there is a huge step. And even for me, I did economic baccalaureate at the high school, and then I moved to economics bachelor. Normally, it's the normal way, and there is no difficulties. But because I didn't do the scientific part in high school, so with a lot of mathematics, I was really bad at university, because in economics in university you have a lot of math. So it's not well directed, and it's too simple before university.
Which kind of school? Sorry.
No.
Which kind of schools do you have? Because also in Italy we have different type of school. Let's talk about.
So if I begin, first you have I don't like when you are really little before the primary.
No, only the high school.
Okay, I thought you wanted to speak about this.
No.
Okay, so which kind of subjects maybe you have in high school, or because
like you have the economic. You went to an economic high school. The other types of high schools.
Yeah, so you have high school, and there is they used, because now it's changed a little bit, but me, I did the ancient version, which it was like 3 types. One in literature, one in economics and social, and the last one in science. And the one in science was the most competitive. So in general, if you were good at school, you went to the scientific one. But for me, I didn't want to go there to do physics and science, my cup of tea. So I preferred to do the economics part. But 3 main, and then you also have technical, but in other type of high school, in technology high school.
No, in Italy is a little bit different. I think the most important point and difficulty in Italy that we have a lot of fear. I think 2 or 1 years more than you in high school. I think, and the problem is when you do a lot of material subject that is not related to what you want to do. So I think a more coaching, a more mentorship between the 3rd year of high school could be useful in Italy for direction the young guys. So no, because the problem we are late between irrespective French people, English people, and so on. After that, we spend a lot of time in university, and also young people have difficult to leave the house of the parents. So another important point, we have I think a medium of 30 years that people leave the house. So when you have too old, third.
Yeah, in the average of living.
Yes. Crazy. Because we have a common say that la dolce vita, no? You stay at that house. You have some money for aperitivo.
Also, because in Italy, the huge difference is that it's like the family, la mamma.
Exactly.
You can't leave la mamma. It's in France, it's a little bit different. I think we are more individualist people in France.
So what time you leave your house, for example?
Well, me, it's a little bit different because
Okay.
I lived at 17 years old.
Okay.
My family region, they are in Alsace, close to
Okay.
Strasburgo. And I don't know why I'm saying that in Spanish, but you understand that. And then I moved to Paris at 17
Okay.
years, and I have a lot of friends staying in their parents' home also. But I know by experience that it's different than Italian people,
Okay.
which that you stay a lot at home. And
Okay.
for French people, maybe I don't know. There are people going to studies. At maybe 20 or 21, they're moving to a master degree in another city, and also you have the workers, and directly they want to build a family, so they also move at 20, 21. I think it can be a good average.
Okay, perfect. So guys, thank you, Greg, for being here and for a beautiful perspective of what are doing in France, what are a good representative of the high school in France and so on. So I switch in Italian now.
Va bene, grazie a tutti, grazie a tutti.
Vi ringrazio ragazzi per essere stati qui, mi scuso per l'inglese di Luca e anche il mio, spero che...
Mi scuso solo per il tuo.
E anche io,
lo stesso
per me.
E spero insomma che la puntata vi sia piaciuta e porteremo sicuramente altre puntate di questo tipo più avanti. Vi ringrazio e ci vediamo alla prossima.
Alla prossima.
Alla prossima.